Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Live Dogs. I am your host, Nick Mazone, and we're going to look to build off of a pretty good day yesterday. We went 4-2 total with the 6 picks and ended up positive 2.55 units, so obviously a pretty good day. We hit on the Tigers at plus 135 versus the Brewers. That was pretty easy. The Rangers plus 115 versus the Angels. That one was also pretty easy. Big Lance Lynn guys here, so thank you, Lance Lynn. We hit on the Marlins at even money versus the Braves. Also, big Sixto Sanchez guy. He had a good outing. He went 6 innings, no earned. And our final hit was the Dodgers and Padres parlay at plus 105. The Padres was pretty easy. I think the final was about 13-4 in that game. And then the Dodgers had a big come from behind push late in that game to get to extra innings. Scored 4 runs in the 10th and almost blew it, let up 3 in the bottom. So those were our 4 hits. We lost on the Bucks. I was hoping they would shoot better from 3 than what they were doing, and actually they did worse than usual. So tough loss there. And then our only other loss was the Dodgers to cover 2.5, which early in the game they let up 5 runs in an inning. I thought even just getting the win would be over. They fought back, and then, like I said, in the 10th, they scored 4 runs. And I was thinking that we were about to hit that one too, get lucky, but Kenley Jansen had a little bit of a rough outing. But even in that 5-run inning, there were a couple of unearned runs. I think 3 of them were unearned. But I'll take just the win to be able to get with that Padres parlay. So yeah, 4-2. Great way to start the week since we were off on Labor Day. And hopefully we can get right back to it today. And our first pick is going to be the Reds at plus 135 versus the Cubs. Trevor Bauer's on the mound for the Reds. He's 3-3 with a 2 ERA and pretty amazing 0.86 WHIP. But he's going up against Darvish, who is definitely a formidable opponent. He's 7-1 on the year with a 1.44 ERA and 0.88 WHIP. So depending on how you look at it, you can definitely give Darvish a slight edge here. But, I mean, really, both of these guys have been top of their games this year. I call this pretty much a wash at the starting pitching. I know Bauer is only 3-3 compared to Darvish's 7-1, but that goes more towards run support than it does towards their actual pitching ability. So I'm going to call it a wash on starting pitching, and this is going to be a trend in this game. I think these teams are very even. You can see the bullpen. I don't think there's an edge. They rank 12th and 16th in ERA, 12th and 16th batting average, balls in play. That 4th and 6th was strikeouts per 9. I don't know why I don't have that in there anymore. But, I mean, literally, it's you go down the line of their bullpen, and they're within 5 spots. Some the Cubs are higher, some the Reds are higher. I will say if I had to give an advantage in the bullpen, it would be very, very slightly the Cubs. But, I mean, they're pretty even teams. But also at the plate, they're even as well. The 2 teams rank 20th, 25th in batting average, 22nd, 23rd on base percentage, 13th, 16th in slugging, 25th and 27th batting average, balls in play. I mean, it's every single one, every single stat. These are also all in the last 2 weeks, by the way. Yeah, like I was saying, every single stat between these 2 teams, they're very close to each other. I think there is literally no edge anywhere in this game. I did see one thing that the Reds aren't scoring runs on the road. But I'm not really into trends like that, especially with no fans. I don't think the home away has much to do with it. I mean, it's the MLB. I don't think travel really has an effect. These guys are used to it. But with virtually no edge literally anywhere, this is kind of just me thinking that these are even teams, and I'm going to get a team at plus 135. If the Cubs were plus 135, I would have taken them. So, yeah, I think in a game where these guys are even across the board. To get a number as good as plus 135 is definitely enticing for me, and I'll roll with it. Second pick in the MLB, we're going with the Blue Jays at plus 120 versus the Yankees. Tanner Roark's pitching for Toronto. He's 2-1 with a 5.74 ERA and 1.79 WHIP. And Delvi Garcia is pitching for the Yankees, who's 0-1 with a 3.38 ERA and 1.03 WHIP. So just looking at the numbers, you would say Garcia's got better numbers, but he's new to the MLB. He's only thrown 10 innings this year when Tanner Roark has a pretty decent sample size. And also, I do think Tanner Roark's better than the numbers, but that's besides the point. But I'm not putting too much into Garcia here at with those stats that he has, just because he is new to the MLB, like I said. So, but I'm not even taking this pick because of the starting pitching. I'm doing it because of the trends at the plate. Besides that, the Yankees are on a 5-game losing streak and lost 15 of their last 20. That would be why that they rank so low in most of these categories. But the last 2 weeks, the Blue Jays are 6th in batting average, while the Yankees are 28th. Toronto's 2nd in on-base percentage, while the Yankees are 25th. Toronto's 10th in slugging, Yankees 27th. Toronto's 8th in batting average balls in play, and the Yankees are 29th. So really, across the board, the Yankees just have not been hitting the ball. Obviously, they're a team that already relied on home runs. A little beat up, missing some players, and they're not hitting home runs. They're not hitting the ball at all. So definitely some tough times for the Yankees and the Yankees fans. As in full disclosure, I am one of those. So it's kind of been I've kind of been in denial about how bad the Yankees are, but I'm kind of just accepting it at this point. Definitely missed out on a lot of spots where I could have gotten underdog wins versus the Yankees. But fool me once, the saying. But when you get to fool me 15 times in 20 games, it's time to start fading the Yankees, which would probably only make sense that this is where they start the bounce back. But regardless, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. This isn't even really a close matchup in terms of hitting. The Yankees you could argue that the Yankees are the worst in the league. So I'll take the Blue Jays at plus 120 with, regardless of how you want to decide on the starting pitching, it's not even close at the plate recently. And third pick in the MLB, Padres to cover 1.5 at plus 110 versus the Rockies. We needed the Padres yesterday as a part of our parlay. And we'll be doing the same thing today as a lean. So I'll just throw that one out there now. But we need him to cover 1.5 today. Zach Davies is on the mound for him. He's 6-2 with a 2.23 ERA and has that sub-1 WHIP, which I love to look for. And he's going up against Antonio Senzatela for the Rockies, who's 3-1 with a 3.33 ERA and 1.13 WHIP. So two good pitchers. Senzatela has been good this year. Davies has been a little bit better, but not enough to pick just off of starting pitching. So we'll go into the trends where it's really not even close. We'll start with batting. The Padres are second in both batting average and on base percentage in the last 2 weeks, while they are third in slugging. And the Rockies are 15th in batting average, 20th in on base percentage, and 18th in slugging. So again, this is kind of just a case where it's really not that close. I think the Padres hung 13 runs last night, so I'm not saying it's going to be that again, but definitely some live bats in San Diego right now, and I think there's definitely going to be run support, and I don't think Davies is going to allow too many runs, so I like that. But even when you get into the bullpen, it's not that close either. The Padres are number 1 in wins above replacement in the last 2 weeks, as well as 6th in ERA. While the Rockies quite possibly have the worst bullpen in baseball, they're last in ERA and batting average and balls of play. So it's just another case of the game's not close. I know this isn't as much. I'll lay in the 1.5 isn't as easy as just getting the money line, but I really don't think this is going to be a close game. I could see another blowout. I could honestly see the Rockies getting shut out. but I don't expect more than maybe 2-3 runs, and I definitely think the Padres are going to put that up. So, so Padres to cover 1.5 at plus 110. Only 3 picks today, but we do have 3 leans as well. We're rolling with the Tigers, plus 140 versus the Brewers. We hit on them yesterday. We're doubling down again today. The pitching advantage isn't where I liked it yesterday, but the Tigers, excuse me, are still, I believe they're number 1 in batting average in the past 2 weeks. They rank near the top in most categories at the plate, so we're rolling with them. We're going to do the Dodgers-Padres moneyline parlay again today. Pretty much the same price. I think you get it at a little bit better. I just went over the Padres, but if you're curious about the Dodgers, I believe Kershaw's on the mound, and he's been fantastic this year, so we're going to roll with them. And then the Astros at plus 150 versus the A's. Probably my least confident pick on here, but still like it a little bit. That's why I put it as a lean. So that's 6 picks again today. We had 6 yesterday, went 4-2. I'm hoping for some good results here. We got some bigger numbers on the board than yesterday. So if we go 4-2 again, we'll obviously make even a little bit more money, even though we did go up over 2.5 units yesterday. So I like these slates. It is a short week since I was off Monday and I don't do Fridays, but I definitely think the potential's here to keep building this week. This is how last week started too, and I kind of collapsed towards the end. So we're going to look to not have that happen this week, obviously. But that is all I got for you guys today. 6 picks, all in the MLB. If you're looking for an NBA guy, if you're an NBA guy and you're looking for a bet, I would say maybe look for an alternative line spread on the Nuggets. I think that series is closer than the line says, but Jamal Murray's been pretty bad lately. So anyways, that's 6 MLB picks for you. As always, good luck on your bets, and hopefully I'll see you guys here again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 11 a.m. I'll be here. So thank you guys for tuning in.